Hello everyone, SharkyToon here, and today's video is basically just going to be a part 2 of the last video, which was talking about my crazy ex-best friend. And before we get into the video, I am going to real quick do a what am I drawing. So there's going to be multiple different drawings in the background because I am a fast artist. So I had to correlate a bunch of different speed paints. That's why this took so long to make a part 2. I'm currently working on just some artwork of my OC teardrop. And then I believe the next couple will just be of my character Dorothy from my webcomic. Real quick, just a cute little promo. Hi, I'm SharkyToon. I write webcomics, and I make silly little videos like this, basically story times about my chaotic Netflix storytime life. And basically that's about what I do. And I also just started a Patreon where I do pinup art, 18 plus only. So if you want to check that out and you are an adult, definitely do that. It is a glamour tier exclusive, so definitely check out my Patreon if you're interested in pinup art. And also, I do have a webcomic called Dorothy My Darling available on Webtoon. It is a romance drama, so if you're into that, definitely check that out. And keep in mind, it is getting an art refresh here soon, to where I'm redoing all of the pages to suit my new art style. But I do not know when it will be officially released and officially refreshed, but all of the refreshed pages currently 1 through 5 are now available to read on my Patreon, which all you need is literally just the first tier to read it. Alrighty, let's go straight into the video. So the last video I basically was talking about my crazy ex-best friend. And let me kind of refresh you a little bit because it's kind of not been that long, but it's been a little bit since that video came out. So basically my crazy ex-best friend, they are still trying to get in contact with me. And from the story that I did share earlier, which I will be sharing the stories of different victims and such from this person, other than myself, just to get some more stories out there about this person. But I will be keeping all people anonymous, except for the last person in my last video. They does not stay anonymous, as they do want to be a content creator themselves, and they want their name and obviously their voice out there too. But this next person will be anonymous, so I will not be mentioning any names about them. But this person basically just was very mentally abusive, physically abusive, and such. And I will say real quick, you might want to click off this video. I am showing all of the trigger warnings on the screen right now. If any of these triggers bother you, please just click off the video. I have so much other content that's not covering super triggering topics. And this one is a lot darker than the last episode, since I am diving deep into a victim, and they have gone through worse than I ever did with this person. And the trigger warnings are all listed on the screen. Like I said, if any of these bother you or anything like that, I do not want to make you uncomfortable. Don't worry, I'll be making more lighthearted videos in the future. But I do have some more on my channel, cute little speed paint, so definitely just go ahead and check those out and take care of yourself, and have a wonderful day. Bye bye if you get triggered by any of these topics. Alrighty, so moving on. Alright, now the trigger warnings are out of the way. This person was mentally abusive, physically abusive, essay abusive, very disgusting. They harassed people. They have guilt-tripped people. They have shown me graphic things as a child, which one commenter actually had said that, oh, they were probably into that stuff because they were being groomed themselves. They might have been. I don't exactly remember what was fully going on in their lives. I was more invested in what was going on with me as a child. That's all the terms that I have remembered. And I don't know if they were being groomed or not, but it still doesn't excuse the fact that they have so many victims to where they had to move to an entirely different state because of how many people they have traumatized. And they sugarcoat it with being, quote-unquote, bullied. Yeah, they call themselves bullied. And I will be also detailing into what happened between me and said person, with screenshots this time, since this was recent, 2 events that happened recently. I did cut contact with this person, FYI. The situation, I think, probably took place around last year or so, and then they recently tried to get in contact with me again. As I mentioned before, in the last video, from Toa's story, Toa had mentioned how they have tried to get in contact with Toa through Snapchat. Toa had changed their name, and they have not spoken to Toa since then. Well, since before that. So they only know Toa by their dead name. But they managed to find Toa through their new name on Snapchat. And you might be saying, oh, it's probably a phone number, contact. No, that's not what it was, because Toa got a new phone number and their phone number wasn't in their phone. So we don't know exactly how they got in contact with Toa or tried to, but multiple times Toa has expressed not being comfortable speaking to them, but they will not accept that boundary. But as soon as you say, I don't feel comfortable talking to you, they'll start guilt tripping you, harassing you, and stalking you. That's usually how it goes. They're a stalker and they're a disgusting person. We thought that they would change because obviously we thought it would be, oh, well, because, they're a child. They were a kid at the time. They were like 12. They were 8. They were just a child. They just didn't know better. It's different. If they did learn from their mistakes and actually grew from it, that would have been better. But they didn't. They never grew from their mistakes. They never learned better because they still think that they did nothing wrong. They are still trying to play the victim in almost every situation they've ever been in. I will share, if I do get a hold of the screenshots, which I did request the screenshots of what they had been saying about me after I politely said that I do not want contact with them anymore after they tried contacting me, and they ended up messaging a mutual friend of mine. I have asked for screenshots of what they had said about me so I can provide those in the video, but they ended up basically saying that I traumatized myself. They didn't cause any problems. They didn't cause any issues. They have said multiple times to other people that they moved away because they were being bullied. You didn't move away because you were being bullied. You had to move away because of how many people you have messed up in the head. People that have gone to therapy because of you. People that have horrible trauma and can't even really make friends properly because of you. And especially in our childhoods, which has affected us hardcore. I met you the first out of everybody in our friend group. I met you the first. And what was more messed up for me was my childhood. Other people's, it was their childhood entering middle school. And that's usually the roughest time of your life is middle school. So it hurt them and affected those people more than it really affected me. Because I had more time to learn and grow from it, but they still have to learn and grow from it because that was just middle school. We were just in middle school 4 years ago. It wasn't really that long ago. All of us are about 18 and 19 years old now, so for them it's not recent. They're still trying to grow from it, and that's why you had to move away, was because of what you did to them. And I know you're watching this video, because you stalk me. You're a stalker and you need to get help. So real quick, I am going to actually dive into this person's story, just to get it out of the way. They did say that they would keep it short, but obviously what this person has done is a lot, and it's really hard to keep it short. I learned that the hard way in my last video. My last video, part 1, was supposed to be 30 minutes long, which this video is going to be 30 minutes long. I'm on the 35-minute mark, and I'm going to try to keep it that way. I'm trying to keep it exactly at 30 minutes, 35 minutes, whatever, and just try to tell as much as I can, get the story out as much as I can, because I have two new stories to share that happened. One of them is very, very recent, just happened in May at my friend's graduation party. The second one happened, I believe, last year. I have to look at the receipts, but the only screenshots that I have, sadly, is through communication with their ex-boyfriend at the time. And so I will have to go ahead and go through and get that, because I did delete me and said person's conversation. I delete conversations often when I don't want contact with that person anymore. I just get rid of it. But I do have the screenshot still from what I sent to their partner. So anyways, let's go ahead and get into the first victim's story. This is the only victim right now. I've reached out to others, but one of them did say that they weren't super comfortable with talking about it, which is totally fine and totally understandable. But like I said, I only reached out to mainly 3 people that I knew personally, and 2 of them were willing to. First person, if you want to hear their story and you haven't seen part 1 yet, part 1, you'll hear their story of what happened with them. And then this is part 2, like I said, where we'll be talking about this person's story, which, like I had said before, they would like to stay anonymous, so I will not be saying their name at all. Now let's go ahead and get into their story. Alright, so they did actually put a trigger warning at the beginning, and like I said, I did already put a bunch of trigger warnings, but what content will be in this video. So go ahead and rewind back to the timestamp if you want to know the graphic things that we will be talking about. But let's go ahead and get into this. I met them in 7th grade orchestra class, and we bonded over the fact that they had a BTS pin on their lanyard. And from that day on, we were friends. During the summer, I got into a fight with some people online, and they thought it would be a good idea to dox me on an anonymous website called Telegram, threatening me and saying things like, "I'll R-word you, you little girl, I know where you live, address attached." I knew it was them because they were the only person out of the 30 people involved who knew me IRL and knew where I lived, as I had just told them literally a day prior to this happening. I should have stopped being their friend there, but I was trauma bonded. Literal definition. Then, in 8th grade, when they started courting me to date me, my best friend at the time disagreed, and they both were fighting, and I was caught in the middle of all of it. At the time, I was being heavily manipulated and mentally abused. By the other counterpart, they would send me graphic pictures of their SH, including videos of them doing it. They would constantly talk about how they wanted to KMS themselves and the other stuff. And they blamed my ex-best friend for some of it. They told my ex-best friend she'd be better off unalived. They showed me the texts themselves. I saw it all, and I'd sit with them at lunch every day so I could spend time with both my ex-best friend and them. But they got upset about that, and I started basically saying I didn't care about them and a bunch of other things, including the words actions are louder than words. By the way, guys, this is completely off script. I am so sorry if I'm really bad at reading. I'm trying to follow up with everything. I've always had trouble with reading since I was a kid. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this before in a past video, but please bear with me. Actions are louder than words. Despite me constantly cuddling up to them and holding them when they were upset, it was a lot of, "I'll KMS myself if you did this," type of things, and a lot of, "Look what I did," and it was a deep cuts. They would constantly send me this shit on Instagram. They ruined my entire high school experience. I became agoraphobic and got diagnosed with stress migraines. I had a migraine every single day because of it, and all of that finally stopped like a year ago when I transferred schools. Luckily, they moved away, and I haven't heard from them since they tried to come back into my life in 2021. And that is their story. Like I said, like, you could probably hear my voice kind of like going down, because a lot of that stuff was the first time I kind of heard of it. Some of it I did hear about by them in the past a little bit, but it's just hearing it and reading it out loud. I don't understand how anybody could do things like this to a person and say it's okay, and say that their victims are all liars in some messed up, effed up way like that. I just don't get it. How are you going to try and get in contact with us after doing things like that to us? I don't remember. I will not say I haven't. I don't remember if I did or not receive the SH aspect of everything, but I did receive the SA aspect of everything. I won't get into detail about what happened. Close friends know what happened, but I did receive the SA since I was a child by them. And it was... let's not talk about it. The SH I did not see. I did not see any type of SH, like graphic at least, but they would show me their heel scars. We would go to the water park often, so I would see their scars a lot. It was very deep, like tiger stripe scars on their body, all over their body. Tiger stripes, straight up, no joke. That's what I saw. But like I said, there's more stories that I do know of, but I will not be sharing any victim stories without their permission. But multiple have said that they don't really feel comfortable sharing their stories right now, which is totally okay. I'm not peer pressuring anybody. I just reached out, basically asked if you want to, and it was a yes or no question. So I'll not be sharing anybody else's stories except for the 2 people that said that they would like to share their editing Sharky in the future. This is a lie. One more person actually did decide to share their story. And that one will also have screenshots and conversations and such if you want to pause and read those, but those are later on in the video. SH, because they said that they were also in a group chat for people that posted SH. There was this thing back then, I don't know if this exists anymore, and I'd be concerned if it does, but I'm pretty sure Instagram's moderation has gotten a little bit stricter, so it probably has changed. But there used to be Instagram group chats for people that wanted to post SH, and Instagram accounts where people that posted SH for comfort reasons, because it was comforting to see other people's SH. And they made an account like that. And they would post things like that. I never followed the account, but I do remember what the profile picture was, and it was of their bloody arm. And it was disgusting. I do not remember the account name. Do not ask me. I've already said, like, half of this stuff between me and said person, me and P, have happened years ago. I didn't get my first phone until my sophomore year of high school. So I have no receipts. The only times that me and P texted was through my mother's old phone, which she does not have any of those text messages anymore. This happened years ago, so all of the receipts, this is just all up to your interpretation, but I will say this has happened. And like I have said, like, I knew that obviously it would be weird if I didn't have other people's stories out there, so I wanted to get other people's stories out there too, to share that the fact that none of this is fake. This is all real. This person is real. The things that have happened to us are real. And this is not a really necessarily much of a call out video, because technically I am keeping this person anonymous because they have threatened to sue me recently. And I don't know exactly how that works, and I probably should not be making this video, but honestly, who gives a flying... I don't want to say the word because I want to be monetized someday, but I don't care. I don't know how it works personally. I'm not a legal student. I'm literally a comics major, so I don't know anything about the legal system. So call me stupid all you want in the comments. I don't know anything about the legal system. I don't know, but I am making a video about them, even though they did threaten to sue me. I'm keeping them anonymous because they threatened to sue me. If they didn't threaten to sue me, but honestly, I would know that they should be crazy enough to do so, because they are. They're insane, and they're a disgusting, vile human being, and I don't even think they have redemption at this point. I think that they just need to hide in their little hole. and not try to be an influencer like they've been trying to. I don't even know if they've tried recently, but I know that they used to try to be an influencer because I had gotten them into Overwatch and they started playing Overwatch and they're still addicted to that game. It's still their hyperfixation. They still love Overwatch, and they still play it. Back when they had followed me and contacted me, I didn't even recognize their name or their profile or anything like that, and they contacted me, and they've always been obsessed with Overwatch and things like that. But before, they've always been an artist. They're who inspired me to draw more because their art was always so good. I did love their artwork as a child, and I loved their art because their anatomy was very well. For at least like 8-year-old kids, 8-year-olds to like 9-year-olds, their anatomy was top tier. And I am not sugarcoating that. I am talking so much trash about this person that I would not lie. Their anatomy was very, very well done. So I looked up to them, but no. Just no. I will say the things that they did to me were completely disgusting and awful. The things they did to other people were disgusting and awful. But if I have to thank them for only one thing and one thing only, it's for not even motivating me, because they did not motivate me to get into art. Watching their art, watching them draw, is what motivated me to draw more. Since I was about 5 years old, I've been drawing nonstop. I've been writing little comic books nonstop. I knew what I wanted to do, but watching them draw helped me explore a whole new form of art and helped me expand my horizons into art and learn how to draw more things and learn my anatomy and stuff very well. But that's the only thing I will ever thank them for, was literally just watching them draw, and that was it. Ever. Anything else, bye. Ta-ta. Honestly, I could have learned it without them with YouTube, to be honest. So, ta-ta, bye-bye. So, real quick, I'm getting off track. I apologize. I usually do not script my videos. I try to sometimes, but it just takes up so much time. But I've noticed that people prefer the videos of me rambling. But if you are a new viewer, I apologize. So, I am going to go on track, real quick. And I'm going to cover the situation of where they asked me to have No Pants Monkey dance with their boyfriend and record it. Alright, so the screenshot is on the screen, and I am going to go ahead and read that. If you are just doing something while listening to the video, you don't have to look at the screen, but if you're watching, go ahead and look at it. If you want to see the screenshot and just read it for yourself, go ahead and pause the video. Alright. Would you want to hook up with blank? I don't mind, low-key. I might want a video if you don't mind. Huh? What do you mean? You know, have No Pants Monkey dance. He's clean, and low-key has a big... We all know what that says. I'm in a relationship. Last I knew, you were single. Sorry. It's okay. I'm just not in blank kind of thing. Oh, it's okay. I'm dying inside. These messages are so fucking cringy. So you might be wondering, Sharky, why were you so kind to them? They asked a really uncomfortable question. I didn't really know how to stand up for myself until a little bit later, and I never actually fully stood up to them. Never, actually. I kind of just let them tell me what they wanted, and I kind of just shrugged it off. But at the time when that happened, it shrugged it off. To them, yes, but to myself, it was very uncomfortable, and I went ahead and told my partner, because that was not okay. That's not cool. You don't ask people that. When they blocked me, the whole reason why we even stopped talking was because I was too afraid to block them or anything myself. So instead, I just distanced myself and I stopped talking to them, which that angered them, so they ended up blocking me instead, which they did the job for me, cool. But they did end up unblocking me. And the screenshots for what they did exactly say will not be provided because the person that they vented to does not feel comfortable sharing those screenshots specifically. They did share different screenshots from back in middle school, actually, and they have the messages of how just a reference of how this person used to treat us, how P used to treat our friend group, our friends, their loved ones. So real quick, I am going to go ahead and get into those screenshots specifically, and then I'll go ahead and talk about the suing situation. Like I said, I will not share the screenshots, but I will say exactly kind of what happened. But I will not say, obviously, who the screenshots came from or anything like that. I will completely keep this person also anonymous. Okay, so these are screenshots, I believe, from middle school, seeing, like, the names and such. You will not see any of the names or the people. Any type of private information will completely be blurred out. But I will go ahead and start reading these screenshots. I'm done with this bull. I trusted you not to follow them again. We've known each other since 3rd. Okay. Are you with them? Blank called me a hypocrite for getting blank mad. For getting mad about blank getting with blank. You know, she cries her eyes out. So I don't cry my eyes out because blank, we are fine. I shouldn't need to explain my decisions. They aren't anyone else's. With blank, there's a reason she was rude. I don't even want to be with her. She betrayed me. Blank, I'm sorry. I can't deal with all of this. My mom's acting out and all this. It keeps happening and I'd rather stay out of it. I still want to be your friend. I just can't deal with all the drama. I am never in drama. This was caused by blank. I just need to know if you're with me. I'm honestly drama-free. If you aren't with me, I'm not going to deal with being bullied. Alright, so before I move on to the next screenshot, this whole fucking situation is absolutely disgusting. I'm going to say that right now. And I know before, I'm pretty sure I said something about, like, not dropping the F-bomb, but I don't care anymore because this has all angered me, looking back at, like, everything. Everything that I've been told has been told by me, by victim A, victim B, and victim C. Everybody. It's just upsetting me. Because we were kids. This was a message from a child. Children. We were children. And this is how P was talking to us. This is how they were speaking to us when we were kids. They were also a child, keep in mind. But they've always been this way and they have never changed. Keep in mind the screenshot that I had shown you of them asking me to do the Devil's Tango with their significant other is recent. That just happened last year. This is still happening. And we are 19. We are adults. We are going to college. We are getting jobs, houses, cars. And they're still doing this. Since we were kids. It's ridiculous. It's disgusting. And if you're still watching this, grow the actual fuck up. Grow up and move on from us. I'm making this video because I think my channel needs to know, and our stories need to be out there. You need to be exposed for who you are. Even though I'm keeping you anonymous, I'm being kind by keeping you anonymous. But I am making a video about you. And that's just what you get. It's karma. It's karma. So, cry about it. I don't care. Anyways, let's move on to the second screenshot. I'm not with anyone. I can't be. I'm too afraid of hurting people. So you attacking me the first time was nothing? I know your mom is acting out. I heard by blank. What happens? I can be here for you. But damn, I don't want to be told I have effing daddy issues just because someone you are friends with doesn't like me. I was mad then because of what you said to blank. And you calling me a liar. I'm sorry. I forgive you. I just don't want it to happen again. So tell me, will you do it again? No, I won't. So, I'm allowed to be your friend without being blamed for everything. Yeah. Can I vent? Yeah. And that is the last of that screenshot. And it's just disgusting because they text like a toxic ex-boyfriend. They talk like a toxic. It's so gross to see and disgusting. This person told me more of what happened but they obviously, like I said, they are not really comfortable with sharing all of the information, but they were comfortable with that one because said person might not remember it, they said, so it's okay. But real quick, let's go ahead and talk about the suing situation. So this is actually the last part I'm going to be going over. I'm just going to go ahead and run through it since I won't be sharing the screenshots. So I'm just going to straight up say, basically, what happened was, in May, during a graduation party, said person, P, had DM'd me on Instagram. I was actually confused because I thought I blocked them, but like I said earlier, I never blocked P. I ignored P until P blocked me on all social medias. So P had unblocked me. P messaged me saying that they basically had a dream about their ex. An ex whom they stalked and harassed into changing schools, FYI, in middle school. And still is obsessed with till this day. So this ex, they had texted me saying that they had a dream about them, they missed them, yada yada. And then I replied basically saying, hey, like, who's this? Because I didn't know at first. Until I looked at the account. And then I started scrolling up in chats. And I was like, oh, I know who this is. It's P. Ha ha ha. Please don't message me again. And then they blocked me. So then later on in the day, I went to the graduation party with my friends. And, you know, I had so much fun. And then that friend who provided those screenshots before had told me, yeah, P messaged me ranting about you. And basically, the whole thing is literally just jealousy. So it's just them being jealous, then saying that they're a fan of my art and that they devoted their love to my art and encouraged me to do what my heart desires, and that basically I faked my trauma, they didn't traumatize me, and yeah, so basically I guess I blamed them for my creepypasta obsession. I didn't know them when I saw creepypasta, and I don't know where the fact I would blame them for creepypasta, because creepypasta is the reason why I am the way I am today. I got into creepypasta when I was about 6 or 7 years old. I didn't meet them until the 3rd grade, so that doesn't really correlate because I got into creepypasta in the first. But anyways, basically, they just overall just completely went off about me. And then they had said that they would sue me, but quote unquote, I come from a wealthy family, so they wouldn't win. They said they wanted to sue me for harassment. Keep in mind, I actually haven't talked to said person in forever. None of us have, because we don't want to talk to our traumatizer and our abuser. Why would we want to talk to you? But I'm pretty sure them wanting to sue me is for some sort of statement. And then at final, they basically said that they're going to block all of my accounts just in case I want to contact them again. I don't want to contact you, P. I never want to speak to you again. I'll talk about you to all of my viewers, but I won't, no, I don't want to talk to you. They basically said that they want, just in case I want to talk to them again, told all of their friends to block me, just in case. They then accused me of me not being the real me and me changing, because, I don't know, I set boundaries and I said don't contact me again. So anyways, that was basically what happened recently, just a couple months ago in May. Since then, I have not heard from them. They have not heard from them. Nobody else has. None of the victims have. And I will cut this at the end of the video, and this is the end of my Crazy Ex Best Friend, series. And if you guys do want to hear more stories about my crazy life, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I also will say, since it's brand new, I do have a Patreon. Yay! I have a Patreon. Basically, it is 18 plus because of the highest tier called Glamour. So Glamour basically has pinup art, censored, uncensored, well, clothed and unclothed. If you're into that, definitely check it out. I would love that. But if you don't want to do the glamour tier or anything, there's also the other tiers, such as the darling tier and the star tier. If you're a fan of my webcomic, I do highly suggest checking that out because I am refreshing my webcomics art entirely, and you do get early access to the refreshed pages before anybody else does. Because I won't be fully releasing every refresh page until every one of them is done. But on Patreon, I'm releasing them slowly, so definitely check those out. Bye!